We're still here, and we're still looking for our first win of the Stanley Cup Finals. The Stanley Cup very well could be handed out on Rogers Place ice tonight, but it doesn't come around these parts very often. Game 4, home ice, Saturday nights. You as a fan, you take this moment and you run with it. I know the boys are ready. I'm ready to go as we've got Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Final in Edmonton, Alberta, baby. We got Shania Twain playing just a little bit down the road. Fernando Pisani, I do believe, will be in the building tonight. So we are bringing out all the big dogs tonight. Let's go. Hello and welcome to Pre-Gaming with BORDZY, brought to you by Sherwood Ford the Giant. Subscribe to the ON YouTube. Drop down your courtesy like, because boy, oh boy, I think we need it tonight. Get in that YouTube chat. I'm your host, Aaron Bordato, joined by Brad Holden, both rocking beautiful new Oil Up t-shirts. You can get them at nationgear.ca. Brett, we're down at Greta again. You know I live here. I stay here every single night, and it is an hour before. We've been here for 2 hours prior. This place is already completely packed.
It is buzzing down here. And before I came here, I took an Uber down here to get here. And the prices were inflated 3 hours before puck drop. This city, and I feel like we did this last game too, but this city is absolutely buzzing. Greta is buzzing inside of here. Tonight is going to be a special night here. Hockey night in Edmonton, baby.
For the Stanley Cup Finals. Let me know if you saw Shania Twain, or if she's still going right now.
Yeah.
Live check? No, all I can hear is the commotion going on in this bar. But okay, I want to start positively. We're going to be joined by our pal, Tyler Remchuk, just a couple minutes. He's going to get us prepped. And then we got a couple extra surprises going as well tonight. But there's a little bit of put me out of my misery vibes going on in the city right now. I am guilty of that myself. You're down 0-3 in the Stanley Cup Final, and things look bad. I know that. Only the 1942 Toronto Maple Leafs have ever come back 0-3 in the Stanley Cup Final. And as Liam said today, it's time to be Leaf. I cringed and hurt so hard when I heard that, but I do agree with it. I've been optimistic all season long. I've been the positive guy all season long, and I am not going to quit right now. So I've got a couple of things to start off to give you some belief of some crazy sports comebacks in sports history. Obviously, the Leafs did it in 1942. There's been 3 comebacks in NHL history down 0-3. The 1975 New York Islanders, the 2010 Flyers, I remember that one. They were also down 3-0 at the end of the first period of Game 7. And then the 2014 LA Kings on their way to their Stanley Cup championship. Outside of that, the 2004 Boston Red Sox, you're a baseball guy. They were down 0-3 to the New York Yankees. They found a way to beat them, win the World Series after a drought of 100 years. You saw the Cavs come back 3-1 against Steph Curry Golden State. Yep. I wouldn't be doing my own self-justice if I didn't bring up 28-3 of the New England Patriots. Just had to get one out there. Just like Julian Edelman said, Brett, you just got to believe. Where are your vibes at right now? Where are your belief levels? I tried to give you all the positive reasons right there, but I am a realist and I am aware the task we are facing.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, and I have been since the end of last game. I've mentioned just how heartbreaking, how much that loss hurts with everything that was surrounding this game. It's the first Stanley Cup Finals game with the Edmonton Oilers in the Stanley Cup Finals since 2006, and they go out there and they go down 3-0. But I think being sad and talking and conceding this series isn't loser talk. I think it's just protecting ourselves. I think it's time for us to turn our headset, our mindset around and go, okay, this team has done it before. They have had unbelievable streaks throughout this season. And just like Stuart Skinner said, if there's any team that would be able to come back from 3-0 deficit, it's these Oil. And I'm trusting this Oil team.
It's this offense. You've been in every single one of these games. Your stars have yet to show up. Imagine you got a couple goals, a little bit of production from those guys. You'd be in this. All right, let's get into our coverage of the final. Sorry, messed that up. Presented by Fountain Tire, because Fountain Tire ensures 100% of their vehicles owned have properly aligned wheels. Wheel alignments extend the life of your tire, which lowers the carbon footprint of your vehicle, reduces emissions, and lowers your fuel consumption. You can read more about Fountain Tire's ESG initiatives at fountaintire.com. There's a reason to believe there's one man to tell you reasons to believe. Let's bring him on right now. He's been with me every step of the ride this season on Pre-Gaming with BORDZY. It's Tyler Remchuk, the host of Oilers Nation Every Day. Tyler, give me a vibe check right now. You're at home. You're prepared to do battle tonight. Vibe check, how you feeling?
Good. I'm having a Kickin' Back Cola, Western Family off-brand Coca-Cola, having a package of Nerds gummy clusters. So I think this would have been pretty close to what I would have had the last time the Oilers faced elimination in a Stanley Cup final when I was 9 years old in 2006. So maybe bringing back some vibes to then, you know?
That's awesome.
Dude, I love that. I mean, I don't like the result of that, but we won.
Yeah.
Did we win game 4? No, we didn't. We went down 3-1. Shit. Whatever. Keep going with it. I like it. Ty, we're down 0-3. There's been several issues so far in the series. You could say the lack of production from your top guys. I think most notably breaking pucks out of your own end. The power play has struggled. 5v5 production. You actually got some depth scoring in game 3. Bobrovsky, you could say, has been goaling us so far. He's got a .950 save percentage. What do you think through 3 games has been the Oilers' biggest issue, the biggest ailment so far through 3 games?
It pains me to say this, but at the biggest moments, your biggest guys got to be your big dogs, right? And Bobrovsky's done a great job keeping out a lot of these high danger chances. But game 1, Zach Hyman misses a wide open net. Game 1, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins misses a wide open net. Game 3, Connor McDavid misses a wide open chances front. Leon misses a couple of looks from his office. One of them was robbed by Bob. The other one was kind of fanned on. The other one he didn't really know what to do with. So in game 1, if your big dogs come through with a goal early, different hockey game. Game 3, if your big dogs score you 1, different hockey game, right? So it sucks to blame those guys, but they're the big dogs for a reason. And if the Oilers going to keep this series alive, they got to start eating.
They absolutely do. You, as I mentioned, if I would have told you Warren Fogle, Ryan McLeod, and Philip Broberg all scored goals in game 3, Ty, you would have said, cool, we won 6-3. That's awesome. That, unfortunately, was not the case. We're on home ice tonight. You were in the building for game 3, and it's not coming at the crowd or anything in that game, but there was a lot of hype about the Edmonton Oilers start to that game. Florida had to deal with travel issues, hadn't left the Eastern time zone since March, I do believe. But it was really the Panthers that took it to the Oilers to start that game. I think it is fair to say tonight the start is massive. The fans got going in the third period. Once the team gave them something to cheer about, the players believe you need to give the fans a reason to believe as well. And I think that starts right from puck drop. We've been talking, this is a huge deficit. You take it one shift at a time, one period at a time, one goal at a time, whatever. But it starts with that first shift. What do you think is to be said about the start of tonight's hockey game and activating that crowd and getting them into it?
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing. Like what I've always said about Oilers fans is we're not dumb. Like when you go to games, and this isn't to be kicking dirt on other fan bases or anything, but you kind of go to games in LA and Florida, they cheer for everything, man. Like the Oilers could be up 3-0 and the crowd's just there to kind of have a good time. In Edmonton, it's a bit more of like, they're smart. When the Oilers are down by 3 goals to the Florida Panthers heading into the third period of a Stanley Cup final game, no one's just going to pretend to be over the moon and excited. And tonight, if you go down early, this crowd's going to be nervous. This crowd is going to be bummed out. Nobody wants to watch the Stanley Cup get handed out at Rogers Place to the Florida Panthers tonight. So if you're the Oilers, the crowd is such a superpower for you, having them behind you, having that place loud.
Yep.
But as Draisaitl kind of said, you got to give them a reason to get loud.
Absolutely. And they'll take anything and run with it. The one complaint I have from the crowd, apparently there was no beef thrown on the ice before game 3.
Oh,
that is bullshit.
Yeah,
that is insane. That needs to be fixed right now. If you're going downtown, you saran wrap that thing up. You get that on your body and you get going. Obviously, Sergei Bobrovsky has been incredible in this series. I mentioned he's got a .950, I do believe, right now going into this. But we saw game 3. He's beatable. We saw it by the Matthias Ekholm slap shot to the nuts is what I'm going to say right there, and was able to beat him throughout it. Brett, we had a debate before the last pre-gaming, and I said, are you overthinking too much about raising the pucks high? You got to beat Bobrovsky up high. I believe the Oilers are good an offensive team. They figured out every other goaltender. Bobrovsky's no different. But my mentality was I wanted quantity of shots, maybe not quality, but from a distance with traffic in front of the net. And you saw the Oilers score some goals that way. The Kulak slapper that Ryan McLeod tips home, Philip Broberg, while he's closer to the net, just throws it on net, hits an elbow, hits a body, and goes through. Do you think there's something to be said of that strategy, maybe tonight in game 4, of just fire them up, load it up, and let it go to the net, put some bodies in front of the net because Bobrovsky is human. He is 35 years old. He's going to struggle with traffic in front. And I thought I saw that work a bit in game 3.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I made the analogy with Frank. I did it with Biz the other day too. Like have the attitude of $201 scratchers and something's going to hit for you, right? And Frank was like, that's gambler's fallacy. And it's like, well, yeah, Frank, I'm not actually recommending people go out and buy 200 scratch tickets, although summer content idea could be kind of fun. Regardless, throwing pucks on net, hoping for some bounces, getting bodies and sticks to the front of the net. You never know what can happen. Philip Broberg had no business scoring that goal. Even on the Ryan McLeod goal, you just go to the front of the net and look, you get a stick on it and Bob can't stop everything. So I think getting traffic is massive.
I was curious. Cody Ceci was inserted into the lineup in game 3 there. Vinny Desharnais obviously came out. Obviously, I'm asking Vinny Desharnais a question, but I'm curious what you thought. Yeah, I was curious what you thought he was, or what he didn't bring in the lineup that Vinny Desharnais would have, and what was kind of missing in that lineup if Vinny Desharnais wasn't in there.
Yeah, like I mean,
if that was really, do you think that was really a big thing, or am I just making more of it than it should have been?
Like I don't think the gap is that substantial that it cost the Oilers a game, but I mean you look at that one play on the Skinner mishap. Like if Cody Ceci drives that guy into the boards, he doesn't get to center the puck. I think Vinny Desharnais hammers that guy into the boards. Now some people would maybe say, oh, Vinny would have been 2 steps behind him, so it wouldn't have mattered. And yeah, like maybe that's fair as well. The gap is small. I like the aggression you get with Vinny. That's why I would be playing him over Ceci, but I think they obviously like something in Cody Ceci's game. I do disagree with it though. I'd have Vin right back in tonight.
And how much of that do you think is with Darnell Nurse's injury right now? Do you think they're kind of pumping Ceci a little bit more, if that's even an idea going there, or do you think Darnell plays into that decision at all?
I think it does a little bit. It was interesting at skate to see how they rejigged the pairings without Nurse or with Nurse not out there. But I do think it's maybe something where they maybe trust Ceci and Kulak more than they trust Kulak and Desharnais. Again, I don't really follow the logic there, and it is a hair perplexing, but they want to have the mobility of Broberg with Darnell Nurse. I like that side of the strategy. Again, personally, I think Kulak, Vinny played together a lot more this year, more comfortable. You get that aggression. Kulak covers the mobility side. It's a better pairing. It's just, again, for whatever reason, not what they want to do.
Nobby loves his Cody Ceci. He loves going back to it. But hey, in Nobby, we trust, damn it, it's gotten us here this entire time. Leon Draisaitl, one guy catching a little bit of flack, and I don't think he's been bad, maybe just not Leon levels. He's a guy I'm looking to step up tonight. I believe he's second all-time points per game when facing elimination. I got more for you later with that. But Tyler, give me one player that you need to see tonight to step up, and then maybe after that, give me your score prediction.
Yeah, I need Leon to step up. Excuse me. I think you nailed it there. He hasn't been that good in this series. Hasn't been terrible. I think anyone saying he's been bad isn't really watching. And in his defense, he hasn't had good line mates to play with. I wouldn't be expecting him to do a whole heck of a lot when he's playing as much as he is with Corey Perry. But still, like elimination game time, you need him to do something. Need him to be a factor in this hockey game. If their best players are their best players tonight, the Oilers can win this thing. Score prediction, anytime goal scorer. Give it to me, Ty. I'll say the Oilers win 4-2. 4-2 Oilers. And who scores? Leon on the power play, then a Hyman one in front. Again, big dogs gotta eat. Big dog gotta eat. Tyler, enjoy your evening tonight, and I hope that means a win. Means we're doing Oilers Nation every day tomorrow. God, I hope to see your face, and I don't say that very often. I love you, buddy. Yeah, love you guys. Yeah. Okay, see ya. That's Tyler Remchuk live from home. I love seeing that smile. He makes me believe. He gets me going. And I got one other guy who's going to make you believe, and it's a special guest. It's brought to you by Boston Pizza because it's been 30 years since a Canadian team has won the Stanley Cup, and it's time to do it, people. It's backs against the wall time. What would it take for a Canadian hockey fan to set aside their differences to team up to end this drought? Is it their team or nothing, or could they team up under the right circumstances? BP's wants you to team up for the win. All right, people, I got a special guest. This is one of the best parts of having nation citizens around here. I am joined now by Cameron. And Cameron, where are you from, and how far have you traveled to come down here to Edmonton to join us at pregame with BORDZY?
Gentlemen, lovely to be here. Long-time listener, first-time visitor. I'm from Wellington in New Zealand, and I want to have a big shout-out to my wife, Jean, and my kids, Henry and Juliet. Jean, my wife's at home right now with a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I'm not here without her. It's about 8,000 miles, 4 flights, and I'm here.
Dude, that is what makes the Nation Citizens and Oilers Nation so great is literally I wanted to make the map on the show this season of that. I got guys watching in Brazil. I got guys watching in Spain, Italy, Mexico, doesn't matter. New Zealand as well. And you have a special story. I want to start with how long have you been an Edmonton Oilers fan and how long has this trip been in the works?
Oh, it was Decade of Darkness, definitely. So
an OG?
No, it was BC before Connor. So I have to also have a shout out to my buddy Sean Wright. Him and I, we hit it off when I was here in Edmonton, and I got married back in New Zealand in 2016. And when I went home for goods, I guess, I had to revoke my permanent residency here in Canada. And I said, look, if the Oilers ever make it to the Stanley Cup final, to the dance, I'm coming. So I've been basically saving money the whole time. And this is a bucket list item. And every year they don't make it, I'm like, well, the party's getting bigger. So,
18 years just makes it more special and more special.
Awesome.
One thing I got to ask you. You've been an Oilers fan for a bit here.
Yep.
Maybe who's your favorite Oiler, non-McDavid, non-Draisaitl?
I'm a Nuge fan. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm wearing
You might as well live here.
Yeah.
Sam Nuge. I'm a Nuge fan.
Brett, you got anything?
So 4 flights to get over here. How long was that trip? Where'd you stop through to get here?
Oh, geez. So I came back in time. Old school styles, came back in time. I left on a Tuesday, landed on a Tuesday. I went from Wellington to Auckland to LA. I didn't have a visa because of my permanent residency was being revoked. And then I was going to basically get up to Seattle and do a border crossing Mexican styles. Didn't have to do that. I landed in LAX and I had my papers. I was like, nice. We're doing this. We're on. So went to Vancouver, bought a flight straight away to Vancouver. And then flew from Vancouver to Edmonton. But I tell you what, the hardest part was getting into LAX. The guy was like, "You play hockey in New Zealand?" I was like, "Oh yeah." And he's like, "You're here to see the Oilers?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "No, it's in Florida right now." And he was literally trying to pick holes in my story. Yeah.
What, dude? Edmonton plays in Edmonton. All right.
Yeah.
Newsflash, brother. But okay. It's been a little, I said to start the show, there's a little bit of put me out of my misery vibes kind of going on in the city right now, but not for a guy like you. You've traveled this far. Clearly, you've believed 4 years. I went through a number of teams in NHL history, in sports history, that have come down 0-3. Yeah. You still believe, right? Because at Oilers Nation, hope will never die.
We got them right where we want them.
Damn right.
Absolutely got them right where we want them. And look, the reverse sweep starts now. Like you look at the New Zealand sailing national team. We lost in a reverse sweep. I experienced the reverse sweep on the other side, and it is not nice. And Kachuk's going to be having nightmares for years.
Why didn't we think about that,
dude?
Obviously,
my knowledge of that area is a little down, but that's why we got citizens and we got a family around this place. Who's one Edmonton Oiler that so far in the series, it's been the big dogs that haven't shown up. We're just talking about it with Tyler as well. Who's one guy, maybe not shown up, but not produced to the level we expect? The power play is obviously an 0 for right now. Big fat 0 next to that percentage. Who's a big dog that you expect a big game from tonight?
Well, I'm wearing the Hyman jersey. Like he's been putting them in all day from the blue paint, all year, and he's just gonna not dust it off. He's just going to ram it home, and I don't care if he has to push Bobrovsky into the goal. It's going in tonight.
It's going in. Zach Hyman, I believe he's gone 3 games without a goal. That means he's an absolute lock to score tonight. Go get it on that way. 19 plus. Final one I got for you. Give me a score prediction and an anytime goal scorer tonight.
4-2 to the Oil, and anytime goal scorer, I'm going to go Hymes. Yeah.
Dude, I absolutely love it. Right. Well, big shouts out to your wife. Shout out to the kids back home for letting our man do this and come down. And, buddy, come back next year when we're back in this very same spot.
I'll have to bring her next year.
Yeah, absolutely. Or maybe we'll see you at the Cup Parade as well. Because as I mentioned, hope will never die. I love it. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll get into now our need-to-know info courtesy of Will Hawk Beef Jerky, because only the finest tasting meat products earn that sweet, sweet Will Hawk name, baby. made from 100% pure Alberta beef. Willock beef jerky is aged, seasoned, marinated, and smoked to savory perfection. Their jerky gladly fills orders of any size. You can find their jerky, sausage, and other products exclusively out of their Leduc, Spruce Grove, and West Edmonton Mall kiosk locations. Damn it, we should have gave him some Willock beef jerky, a good taste of Alberta to bring back home. I think I got to slide over a little bit more.
Are they allowed to bring that back?
Yeah, actually, if the border guy was being that about it, he's probably not going to let you bring dry, dead cow meat.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of those border crossing ones. They're kind of dicks.
Beautiful, beautiful. So our need to know info, courtesy of the Willock Nice, making sure you get a car decal to go home with. Pat, that's why you're the best producer in the game, baby.
Goddamn
you
right.
take care of the nation's citizens. That is awesome, Brett.
Yeah.
That's what you live for. That is what working at Oilers Nation. And we're blessed because we've joined the nation. I've been here now 2 years. You the same. While lived in Edmonton during the decade of darkness, we never built this company through that. And you meet guys like this that have been fans, been in the picture, been watching, listening for so long. And then they fly out and they come for events like this. It's spectacular. We got Lance Kane playing bodyguard right here in front of us right now. Shouts out to Lance, but that was awesome.
Oh, that was awesome. And kind of going along with what you said too is we were born into being an Edmonton fan. There was no ever, especially in my house, there was never going to be anybody other than the Edmonton Oilers that you were going to cheer for in hockey. And for somebody who's from so far away, and just like Duke's too,
BC before Connor.
Yeah, that was
crazy.
awesome. That was great. And to have and experience the Oilers culture is exactly what we do this for. It's the beauty of sports, baby.
It is the beauty of sports. But okay, need to know info for Willock. The Edmonton Oilers are looking to avoid becoming the first team in the Stanley Cup era to be swept in the Stanley Cup final.
Really?
That was painful to read. Shout out Coombsy, Cam Lewis, for giving us a little bit of that info. The last time that happened, the Detroit Red Wings swept the Flyers and Capitals in back-to-back finals in 96-97 and 97-98. The following season, the Florida Panthers lost in 5 games. Doesn't have anything to do with tonight, but I just thought I would throw that out there. Teams up 3-0 in the Stanley Cup final are 27-1 all time, I believe. No, that's got to be more than that.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. I messed that up. Teams usually. Hey, Gina's here. Kennedy's here. The whole crew is here right now. Wow, there's still time to get down here to Greta. I would highly, highly recommend it. The teams usually dominant power play. It's been completely shut down this series. After scoring 37.3% of their opportunities in the first 3 rounds, the Oilers are 0 for 10 on the power play so far, which is something I never thought would come out of this very mouth. We still do not know the lineup yet. Can you pull up, I think we have a look at maybe what Zach Lang had given us earlier in the week or the last practice they had, because we took a peek. And if you look, Brett, Warren Fogle is now in the top 6 next to Leon Draisaitl and Corey Perry. Game 3, it was Ryan McLeod in that spot. And while he did eventually score a goal from in close, it's looking like it's going to be Fogle. He scored 2. What do you think of that move?
You know what? I'm behind it.
I am too.
And
it got us to this point, damn it.
Yeah, and for somebody who was so hard on the guy last 2 games, the X amount of the series, I'm very happy to say that in that last game, he proved me wrong, and he has earned that opportunity to be in that top line and their top 6, excuse me. And you mentioned it too. This isn't something new for Fogle or Draisaitl. At times this year, it had
the majority of this year, I would argue.
100%, and it had a lot of success throughout that time. So I'm behind it. You kind of fall into old reliable a little bit sometimes here and there, but that's fine. Let it work. And hey, if it doesn't work, you have had the options to switch things up in the past this season too. So if it doesn't work, then you got options to switch it up.
I think you go down one early. You're seeing supernova. You're seeing nuclear get cracked out of its case. You break that glass in case of emergency. I've said it all year. Well, this is a fucking emergency. If we do go down a goal in this game. Somebody in the chat said, why is Corey Perry still there? Don't really have an answer for you, but in Nobby we trust as well. Somebody just asked, Megan, is there still room at Greta? Pat, you're behind the scenes right now.
Yep. Let me see him just standing up. Yeah, there's still room here. I see a couple open tables. Some of them are reserved, but there's lots of standing room with us too.
And
either way.
Right, that's the point, Pat. When like Lance Kane's with us right now, he messaged me earlier. He goes, hey, can I just chill with you guys? And I'm like, yeah, dude, We
Yeah.
don't sit the entire
Yeah.
game. We stand the entire time. I sweat more than anyone you've ever seen the entire time. So come on down. Plenty of room. You can hang out with me. Pat Waz is going to join us for Oilersnation After Dark later. I got Kennedy. I got Gina. It's a family event, damn it.
Yeah, I felt bad for Heat Daddy last time because we were kind of just standing over top of their area, and they were probably like, "Who the hell are these guys?"
Shout out Heat Daddy. Go check out his Twitter game and some of the things he tweeted at roughly 12:30 at night on, I guess 12:30 in the morning on whenever that was. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. Can't repeat. The Florida Panthers side of the need to know. This is the closest they have ever been to the Stanley Cup final. It's their third time in the final. They won one game in their 1-8 in their previous finals appearances, and they are one win away right now. You heard Paul Maurice say it was it today, I do believe. He said, if you can't enjoy today, this morning skate, then what the hell are you doing here? Paul Maurice is awesome.
I
And
love
it
him.
pains me and it pains me and it pains me to say it with the smile on my face, but that guy is sick. But let's start the journey here of Florida, because shout out to some notes. Shout out to Coombsy for these. Florida came into the NHL as expansion 93-94. They went on a Cinderella run in their third season in the league. They were swept in 4 games by Colorado, and they saw nothing for the next 25 years. Between 96-97 and 2020-21, they made the playoffs 6 times. They lost in the first round all 6 times. And over the past 3 seasons, Florida has seen more playoff wins than their first 27 seasons in the league combined. They have found it. They have been thought of before as a joke of the NHL. Who goes to Florida to play hockey? Dude, there's been more Stanley Cup final hockey games in the state of Florida over the last 5 years than anywhere. It's been quite the run for these Florida Panthers. Let me ask you, and we'll get into it a little bit later. How do you think the nerves feel for the Florida Panthers tonight? Because as Maurice mentioned, there is no way you're not thinking about it, especially up 3-0. You're like, hey, man, we just got to win one of these. We got to get it going. And knowing you could tonight be back on that flight. They better not come to Greta. I will not let them in Greta tonight if they bring the cup.
Oh, God, no. I don't know. I don't know what it could be for what the possible nerves could be for them. I would imagine genuinely it's not. I feel like they're relatively.
It's like they're loose.
I feel like they're loose too.
Because you're up 3-0. So
exactly. You're up 3-0. You're away from home. You're waking up in a hotel room, and you're going down to the hotel lobby for breakfast, and you're in this other town. There isn't a lot of pressure when you're in Florida to begin with, I imagine, but it's even less when you're the away team at where you could possibly, and if they lose, whatever, they go on back home, and if they lose that one, whatever, they're still not done, right? So I don't imagine they're really feeling the, oh my goodness, the clench in the sphincter and going, guys, oh yeah. But that's because we're down 0-3. They're up 3-0. So it's I don't think that there's too much of a clenched sphincter in this one for anybody in red.
Yeah, we'll see what goes. As I mentioned, the start is going to be massive tonight. You just got to start there. Let's get into my short forward Giants storyline heading into tonight. And it's kind of what you just mentioned, but the reverse for the Oilers. It's my storyline to the fans, too. There's zero pressure on the Oilers right now. Everyone and their dog. I think you poll 100 impartial hockey fans. I think 100 of them are going to say the Oilers are going to lose this series. But you're on home ice. You've got the home crowd behind you. It's Saturday night. They said off the top, you got to give them a reason to believe. And if you're a fan, you enjoy every step of this. You could see that was evident by the lines for Shania Twain, for every bar being filled up as much as Greta is right now. This doesn't come around very often, so you need to enjoy this. It's a Saturday night. You don't work tomorrow, for the most of us. We win. I do work tomorrow, but fuck it. We ball. We keep on rolling right now. And it starts, Brett. I said it to Tyler off the top. It is a huge mountain to climb. But if you take it one step at a time, one shift at a time, one period at a time, inevitably, maybe one game at a time, you go from there. It starts putting one foot in front of the other, and there's no pressure on you right now. Go out there, play your game, and do what you're capable of doing. The championship DVD is already going to be lit getting to this point. Why not go down 0-3 and make it even better, the final chapter of that DVD? Brett, what's your short for Giant? There's no bigger storyline than tonight.
Yeah, mine is to strike early and keep it going. Again, it's very similar to Game 3 where you have that crowd now. You have the best crowd in the NHL, and the rest of the league knows it. Go and use that to your advantage. Edmonton didn't do that in game 3. They got outplayed in the first 10 minutes of that first period. It was their first home game in the Stanley Cup Finals in 18 years. I completely understand, but it's time for them to wake up in front of that home crowd, strike first, just like in game 1.
Yep.
Bobrovsky made that little blooper right off the top. Almost it resulted in the first goal of the series for Edmonton. Imagine how much different things would have been then if Edmonton started the first.
I've been
10
thinking about
seconds.
that for the last, I don't know how many
100%.
days.
Well, now they have an opportunity to go out there and do the exact same thing. Score in the first 5 minutes before the first commercial break, and then build off of it. So for me, it's to score early and score first.
This is why Nation citizens are the best. And don't tell your boss I promote this. Trevor says, yep, I work at 6 a.m. tomorrow, but screw it. That's what we need. That's what the city's going to need to get out of this hole. It starts with you at home. I have not worn a jersey basically this entire playoff run because I'm not going to get into the details why. You can imagine why I always wear these shirts. I brought my Nuge tonight. The moment we end the show, I'm rocking my Nuge. I'm going to believe it doesn't have nearly enough stains on it or enough beer blood spills or whatever you need.
Careful.
I don't want to get in any fights, but hey, we'll see what happens tonight. It needs more stains, so I'm going to bring it out tonight. And everybody, do your good omens. Do what you got to do out there to will this team to victory. Let's get into the Edmonton Oilers side of things. The lineup report brought to you by Sherwood Ford, the Giant, home of the Giant Advantage, and Dealer Raiders, Alberta Ford Store of the Year award for customer satisfaction. With a giant selection of new and used vehicles, it's the best place to find, finance, and service a Ford vehicle in Sherwood Park and Edmonton. There you can find deals. You can find a giant array of services and parts too. Whether you prefer shopping online or in store, they tailor the shopping experience to you from people who really care. Sherwood Ford, the Giant for a reason. Brett, it's lit down here right now. We got extra cameras on us right now. The projected roster tonight for the Edmonton Oilers, as you see it on your screen right now. Nuge, McDavid, Hyman. I could see break glass in case of emergency, and Leon Draisaitl getting some time up there. But the second line to start tonight, we do believe, will be Warren Fogle, Leon Draisaitl, and the Worm, Corey Perry. Your third line, and I've loved this trio, Matthias Janmark, Adam Henrique, and Connor Brown. I want more Connor Brown. I want him back next season, but we'll deal with next season in the summertime. Fourth line, Dylan Holloway, Ryan McLeod, and Derek Ryan. Your decor, Ekholm with Bush, Nurse with Broberg, Kulak with CC. Once again, these are unconfirmed at the moment. We will find, should be hitting the ice right away, and we'll let you know. Keep it locked on Twitter because we got all the information you're going to need. I brought up the crowd. They're going to need to bring it. It's going to be tough to win 4 straight. It obviously starts tonight. Am I crazy to say that I know we're down 0-3? I know I'm biased. It's called Pre-Gaming with BORDZY. It's Oilers Nation. But I don't think the Oilers have been severely outplayed in this series. It's 0-3. It could easily be 1-2. It could maybe even be 2-1. That's fantasy world. I live in reality. But game 1, you saw the Oilers. They played fast. They won puck battles. They controlled most of the play. They just got goalied for the most part in that game. Game 2, Florida was the better team in that one. And dare I say game 3, the Oilers, aside from a 6-minute stretch with back-breaking errors in your own end, they competed and they were in that one. The trouble is those back-breakingly painful errors in your own end.
Yeah, and I would say game 2 was their worst game. I think that would be the game where I'd sit there and go,
oh, they got
were
their ass
outplayed.
beaten that game.
Yeah, they were outplayed. But I agree with you. I think game 1, if they would have gotten a puck to go in here or there, it's a totally different story. Same thing kind of with game 3 as well. If they didn't have that 6-minute stretch, 6 minutes, that's all it is. It's 6 minutes, and that's why you've always preached throughout
3 goals on 4 shots in that 6 minutes.
Yes, that's even worse. 3 yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that. Throughout these whole playoffs, everybody, and we have said, the Oilers have to play a full 60 minutes. They have not played a full 60 minutes in this series probably yet. You could argue game 1 maybe, but that's been the issue, is that Edmonton has been playing from behind this entire series. Now they need to turn that table. That is the only way that they're going to be able to turn this series around, is being able to turn the narrative of this story. You score first. You dominate a game. You go up and have a 3-minute chance or 3-minute opportunity where you can go out there.
You take it to them. You take it to them.
Exactly.
You cycle those pucks. Florida has been They're as good as advertised, dude. They made it to Stanley Cup final last season for a reason. They made it back here this year for a reason. It's been my key. We've talked about it a lot, dealing with that forecheck, successfully breaking pucks out. And it's not just Darnell Nurse, because when I say simple hockey, you're all going to go simple Daryl, simple Daryl, simple Daryl. I think it's everything. And Nobby had even kind of said it. It needs to start with simple things and one shift at a time, obviously, but move your feet. Use your legs, use your speed, glassing out in your own end. Don't need to make the most sexiest play in your own end. You just need to get it out. I do think there's something to be said about, okay, down 0-3. Let's go back to the basics here. Take control of what you can take control of and what's right in front of you, and that's, okay, not a stretch pass right there. I've got to say for 1 year. Ring it around the boards one more time. Who knows? Whatever you think. Do you think there's an aspect of that of simple hockey tonight might get you back into your groove?
Yep, yeah, 100%. I mean, the thing for the Edmonton Oilers, they're big, the thing that really pushes Edmonton to being who the Edmonton Oilers are is their raw talent. And how raw can you get than simple hockey? Go out there and prove your talent with simple hockey and out-simple this team. That's 100%. I completely agree. Let the raw skills show out in simple hockey, and you will get the results that you most likely want to have.
Absolutely. One dude that we talked about on After Dark, and once again, it's like the Leon thing. I'm not saying they're playing bad. Maybe just not the level that they have been for the first 3 rounds, which has been fucking spectacular. So, hey, it's going to be tough to keep that rolling, especially against the Florida Panthers. But Evan Bouchard in the Stanley Cup Finals right now has not been his best hockey. He's losing some one-on-one battles, and it's tough, right? Like, I believe it was the Barkov breakaway 2-on-1-1. That happens so fast in a split second. The puck's bouncing, leans forward. All of a sudden, he gets control of it, zips it over. I'm not shitting at him for shitting on him, shitting at him.
Careful.
Just throwing it right at him. Just giving it right to him. But there's an aspect, and I think he would be unbiased to say that this has been some of his lesser hockey right now. And we talked about it on After Dark. My strategy to scoring goals is shots from the point, quantity, the $200 scratch shots. Bouchard is your best asset to deliver those boost bombs with the traffic in front, but we've seen it repeatedly only for these 3 games, and what feels like never in the rest of the Stanley Cup playoffs, I'm seeing Bouch hesitate with his boost bomb and actually toe dragging, trying to walk the blue line, which then in turn, once again, I don't want to tell a guy how to shoot his own shot because it's Evan Bouchard. He knows how to let it roll, but he then moves around and throws a softer wrister, usually hits a couple bodies because they get in the lanes. They know it's coming. He doesn't really have another play. I feel like if he's quicker to the punch with those shots, you're going to get those greasy ones, those chances in front. Am I crazy?
I think you have to be patient. I think the big
because it's a balance, right?
100%. You mentioned it there, just how good Florida is at clogging up the middle and being able to take away passing lanes, take away shooting lanes. And as fans and as the Edmonton Oilers, you need to be patient. I've preached and ripped on, I guess, really, the shoot birds, the shoot. I get that. You need to shoot the puck in order to get the puck into the net. And like you said, there needs to be a quantity of shots over the quality of shots, but you need to be able to get into shooting lanes and see those shooting lanes, and the puck needs to get to the net in order for those shots to work. So be patient, let them get their shot, and good things will happen.
I have great news here. Just shout out Liam for retweeting this. Recent Shania Twain concerts in Yeg. May 6, 2023, the Oilers beat the Knights 5-1 in the playoffs.
Whoa.
November 12th, Jay Woodcroft was fired and replaced by Chris Knobloch, turning the season around. June 15th, turn around for the Stanley Cup final, as Lance Kane just said in here. Sounded like a cup year. Anything that we're saying right now, all Lance is getting, cup year. Brett, last game, I asked you for a pick of who you wanted to see as a depth guy step up. I picked Warren Fogle. He showed up. Keith Daddy picked Broberg. He showed up. You picked Corey Perry, and we'll leave it at that. Tonight, give me any one player, because even the stars right now need to step up. Who do you have circled, your player to watch that's got to elevate their play tonight?
I'm going with Adam Henrique. He's in the middle of that third line that we really like with Brown Mark, and it's a quick line. And as I mentioned in the last episode too, before Game 3, was he's a smart player. He's like Nugent Hopkins light. He can go out there, get into the dirty areas, make smart plays, get the puck out of the zone, carry the puck through the neutral zone. He's very smart in his own end. he needs to be a guy that can kind of drive that third line when 29, 97 aren't on the ice. He needs to be out there helping Brown Mark go out there in the corners, get open, find open opportunities, shooting opportunities as well. I think number 19 will be a big part of, and he'll show why you acquire him for a first-round pick at a reduced price at the NHL trade deadline.
Fun fact, shout out to our boy Nick Alberga, host of Leafs Morning Take. I believe he went to high school with Adam Henrique, and I got to meet Rico's brother the other night.
Yep.
Take my word for it, equally as handsome.
Yes.
Arguably even more handsome.
Yeah.
Whatever they got going in those bloodlines, those Ricos are doing it right. Pat, who's one player, depth, star, doesn't matter. Who needs to elevate their play?
And then not because he's been playing bad, but I said it in the After Dark. I'd like to see Hyman be a little more noticeable out there. Again, part of that could be because if pucks aren't getting to the net and that's where Zach Hyman is living, then it's a little hard for him to bang them home. But I see it during the regular season all the time. He kind of does his dipsy doodle around in the corner. He's super confident. And I just haven't seen that confidence from him in this series. I think he's been throwing hits all playoff long, and I don't know if he's got a big one yet this series that I can recall off the top of my head. So, again, not because he's playing bad, but I would love to see Zach Hyman step it up one notch for tonight's game.
And I feel like that applies to pretty much every one of the Edmonton Oilers big dogs. Not bad, but not at the level we've wanted. Did I just see a photo of Boaz with Luke Astic?
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. Going to have to ask him about that later tonight on Oilersnation After Dark when we're breaking down a dub, people. Let's get into the starting goaltenders report brought to you by Sherwood Power Sports Marine, your one-stop shop for everything you need, from fishing rods and reels, tackle and boat accessories, to motorcycle gear, water sports accessories, e-bikes, scooters, whatever you can think of, they've got it. They're ready to go. Find out more at Sherwood Power Sports Marine in the heart of Sherwood Park. Maybe even cross over. Go visit Sherwood 4th Giant, get some Sherbucks, get some coffee, because the sweet rides and the sweet toys, it's toy season, Brett. It's boating season, brother. Look at how beautiful it is right now on June 15th. Also, shout out to my buddy Luke. Happy birthday. Forgot to text you today. I'll cut this up and I'll be good.
Yeah.
Power Sports Marine Boats. Take a look at the tail of the tape between these goaltenders so far this series, because one of these things is not like the other. That is fair to say. And it's not that Stuart Skinner has been bad by any means. He's got a 3.13 goals against sure, 868 save percentage. You're probably getting tired of me saying this all season, but he's better than the numbers that have been put in front of you on your screen right now. But holy shit, the other guy, 3-0-0, 133 goals against with a 953 save percentage. Brett, you said you wanted Corey Perry to step up in that last game. And the one thing he does well is being a pest, being a worm. The others go down 3. What did Corey Perry accidentally do?
He went and sat on Bobrovsky's face.
Boom. Nice. Hot. But he fell right on top of Bob, right in the blue paint, trying to get him off his game. And the best part was that dumb face that he makes when he's like, whoa, what did I do? Used to make my blood boil to an nth degree. Watching him do it for us, I just smiled from ear to ear.
Yeah.
That's the stuff tonight that I need from Bob. You look at those numbers, dude. You got to do something differently. You're going to have to get greasy. You're down 0-3. It's the Stanley Cup Finals. You empty the clip, unload the chamber on that, and I want greasy stuff. I will take a goalie interference penalty in the first period if you're going after this dude.
That is why Corey Perry is in the lineup.
Yeah.
I am so sick of people sitting here and going, "Why is Corey Perry in the lineup? Why not? Why it's Sam Gagner?
There's one.
Sam
The
Gagner,
Sam
can
Gagner
do
argument is
something."
insane.
Oh my God, I know. And I was the one that was sitting here joking at down 0-2 to put Gagner in. No,
You're
it's
part of the problem.
yeah, exactly. It's part what Corey Perry does. He's able to go out there, and after that, what Corey Perry did in that game, the tide started to turn for the Edmonton Oilers. Again, it is that energy. It trickles down from the top to the bottom. You're sitting there, and you saw even in that little video that has gone viral this season of Connor and Leon, where he just taps him on the leg.
The tap that changed everything.
Exactly. It is an energy thing, and if you're able to go out there and in front of Bobrovsky, make his job difficult, and that's all you're going to do, it is going to be good. I was saying this in the Vancouver series when Archer Seeloff was blowing the roof off the place. He's a young goaltender. He feels comfortable right now. Go out there and make him feel uncomfortable. Just make him
Little
think about
Sam Carrick, school of Sam Carrick.
Yeah,
no, maybe not
exactly.
that far.
Because the big thing is for goaltenders that you have to be locked in to read the shot, be able to see the puck through traffic, read the play, where it's going to go. If all you're thinking about is the puck, it's going to be much easier. But if you're not an opposing team coming in there and making the goaltender think about anything else, well, that's going to be an issue. If they're thinking about, oh, Corey Perry's on the ice, he's coming closer, where's the contact, oh, shit, the shot just went through. That is much more of a better, or more of a easier thing to work on if you're an Edmonton Oilers team than not being able to do that.
The Super Gremlin's here. Super Gremlin's back there.
Uh-oh.
If you've seen him in the YouTube
Just
chat
curious why you're
before,
smiling.
it's Super Gremlin being Gremlin-y. Also, Brett, look forward just at the camera right now. You put your leg like that. I'm going to tap you like that. So we can clip that and put it next to Connor and Leon when we inevitably come back. And I'm going to say this is the other tap that changed our everything. Because we got to throw everything at the wall. Stuart Skinner, he's been good, not great.
Stuart Skinner is, yeah,
Right?
I
That's fair.
completely agree. He hasn't stolen the Oilers a game. He's just done what he's needed to do over these last couple of games, which for now is, well, not for now. You need him to steal a game now that one loss will end your season, but you haven't needed him to, or supposedly need him to, because this offense just hasn't done their job. It's not like the offense is pulling their weight. Stuart Skinner's been pulling his weight, but the offense hasn't. So good, not great, I think, is a perfect way of putting it, because he has done his job, but the rest of the team has not. So, no, I'm behind that 100%.
Let me know in the chat what you thought of Stu so far, because that's it. He's been good, not great. The guy on the other side of the ice is stealing hockey. Yep, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Want to read it out? I'll let you do the honors.
We have new lines, in fact. And
That is insane. Holy shit.
this is beyond nuclear. The top line for the Edmonton Oilers boasts Warren Fogle with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. This is from Bob Stauffer. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is on the second line with Leon Draisaitl and Dylan Holloway. Third line is Matthias Janmark with Adam Henrique and Connor Brown.
Good. Don't change that.
And the fourth line is Ryan McLeod, Derek Ryan, and Corey Perry as the defensive pairing.
Yep. Ekholm, Bush, Nurse, Broberg, Kulak, Cece. All right. Actually, you know what? We're going to do this. We're going to get a second look at the Edmonton Oilers lineup report, brought to you by Greta Bar Yeg. You know him, you love him. The spot to watch a game in Edmonton, and this place is already off the hook, Brett. I've watched, while doing this in the last 15 minutes, I watched like 50 people I know walk in, come right here in front and be like, hey, you going to stay here? I live here. How many times do I have to tell you? Arcade, bar, street food, best place to watch a game in the city. The vibes are immaculate right now. All the seats are taken up. But guess what? You're going to be on your feet the entire game, willing this team to victory. Shout out to Greta. We're going to be here all the way until Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals, because I ain't giving up hope yet. Hope will never die. We'll let Pat take his time to bring in that tweet so he can give you a little visual of it. But Brett, Warren Fogle on the top line with Connor McDavid and Zach Hyman. I have been a believer all season of you never break up Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Connor McDavid, and Zach Hyman. But the one thing, and Ty had mentioned it as well, part of Leon's maybe not, once again, take this what you will, his lesser play in this Stanley Cup Finals is the players he's played with. He had an injured Kane. He's had Corey Perry. He's had Ryan McLeod. He was thought to have Warren Fogle tonight. He's had Dylan Holloway. You give him RNH, you give him Dylan Holloway, you're bound to score some goals. The offense should be there.
I'm 100% behind this too. And
Bobby, we trust.
Well, yes. And for Draisaitl, it gives him a regal option with Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, a smart player who's going to go out there and do the smart plays, make the smart plays, get into open ice and stuff like that, where Dylan Holloway is just going to be the workhorse. He's going to be going out there in the corners, running bodies, getting puck to the middle of the ice. He is going to be doing the bull work, if that kind of makes sense. And then Leon Draisaitl will carry the line. I'm 100% behind this. And with Fogle on the top line, adds more speed there.
And he's played with skill all season. You know he can do it. He scored 20 goals for a reason.
Well, and that's the thing. It's the guy who did score 20 goals. Now you're putting him with the guy who got 100 assists this year. Not too freaking bad.
Dude, I don't hate this. And Corey Perry on a fourth line, that's a fourth line player. That's where he should be.
Fogle right there. Jesus
Dude,
Christ.
do you see what Warren Fogle wore tonight? Oh my God.
How is he going to be
Holy
able to
shit,
play?
that looks
He's
like
here.
Warren Fogle. He's gotten that a lot. That guy's gotten that 100 times before. Completely just lost my train of thought because I looked at that guy. Corey Perry, that's a fourth line type player in a spot that I think he should be. Oh, the Warren Fogle thing.
Yeah.
You wear a Kobe Bryant t-shirt. It's a t-shirt of Kobe Bryant wearing an Oilers jersey on there. Man, you score a breakaway goal. You wear that shirt. Obviously, you're going to join the top line. I might need to change Bordzy's bankroll right now to get an anytime Warren Fogle goal because this is.
Oh, no. Are you that confident in Warren Fogle getting a goal tonight?
If he's playing on the top line for the juice you're about to get on Betway,
yeah.
buddy, I'm just a smart gambler with the juice you're going to get.
Yeah, that's
trying to pull it up. Pat, thoughts? Warren Fogle, top line.
My first reaction was obviously shock, and I don't like breaking up that first line. But the more I look
the more
at
I'm thinking it gets better.
It kind of does make sense. Like you said, the speed of Fogle. He's got a goal under his belt now. He's feeling a little more confident. Nobby's giving him a little bit of an opportunity. It also makes that second line so much stronger. And you keep that third line together that we love so much, Mark Brown and Henry. And I think McLeod on the wing is a bonus. I don't see a lot of negatives looking at this lineup. So, I'm good for it. If Fogle wants to, if he's ready to dig deep, forward check, get that puck out to Connor McDavid and Hyman backdoor, I'm all for it. We got a little bit of skill on Draisaitl's line with Hyman. Nothing wrong with Nude. Sorry, nothing wrong with that.
Dude, I love this. I like Warren Fogle. You just mentioned BA Honey Badger, BA Puck Retriever. Get it to skill players. What did he do all season long? Only on Draisaitl's wing. Exactly those things. You get skill on your top line, McDavid, Hyman. They can do enough, even deal with the Fogle. You've got skill on your second line galore. That's a 1B if you're asking me.
Yeah.
And then your third line of Janmark, Rico, and Brown has been so good, been so consistent. You let those guys continue to roll, and fourth line, you guys just don't get scored on, please.
Yeah, and I see a lot of speed here too, right?
Yeah.
And McDavid McDavid Fogle, that their speed there. Hyman's a much smarter and better skater than people give him credit for. And Pat, you mentioned his ability to dipsy doodle as well. Draisaitl and Holloway. Draisaitl is a very underrated skater as well. I think he skates kind of similar to Taylor Hall in the way that he's kind of lower in his gait and kind of moves that way, and he has longer strides. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, another smart skater as well, and Janmark and Brown, fast skaters, smart skaters too. McLeod as well, and I like it.
Ooh, job's not finished.
Job's not
Florida,
finished.
job's not finished. Buy a shirt, nationgear.ca. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. The little lob bomb mentality. I love Bootneck here. He said, Bordsy, thank you for your positivity. Backbone of Oilers Nation. I've been doing it all year long. I ain't going to stop now, people. Championship DVD. I better get a feature.
Yeah. Isn't that what they were just doing there?
Oh,
yeah.
I've got my spot. We've got our spots. Dude, I'm feeling really, really good right now. Rostoverson said, Oilers don't need Kobe Shrink. Just send in Bordsy. Send us both.
Yeah,
let me bounce some ideas off that guy. All right. We're running out of time here, so want to just flash up the Florida Panthers lineup for us, and we can just take a peek through it. But then the important part, Sporty's bankroll, brother. We gotta get into there. So you look at this on your screen. Erod with Barkov and Reinhart, Carter Verhaeghe with Sam Bennett and Matthew Tkachuk. I cannot see the Turtle raise the cup in Rogers Place. I don't even know what I'll do, but it'll be bad. Eetu Luostarinen, Anton Lundell, and Vlad Tarasenko on the third line. Steven Lorenz, Kevin Stenlund, Kyle Okposo on the fourth line. Gustav Forsling with Aaron Ekblad. Nico Mikkola with Brandon Montour. Oliver Lawson Tossum with Dmitry Kulikov. I have yet to call him his actual name once on Pregaming, and I ain't going to start now. You look at that. I mentioned I really don't want to see them raise the cup in our building. The Hurricanes at least had the decency to do it in their own building and not right in front of my face. I mentioned the pressure that's probably on this team tonight, but I think with Paul Maurice, a team always takes the identity of their head coach. That guy is the calmest, straight up, just normal dude you've ever seen before. I don't think the team's going to be overly thinking too much. Give me your one player to watch in the Florida Panthers tonight.
Before I do that, I just want to give you a fun fact about Paul Maurice. Do you know that he was the coach of the Winnipeg Jets when the Oilers got swept in the bubble?
I did know that.
Okay, I'll go fuck myself. I learned that today, and I thought that was incredible. Anyways, for inside this lineup, I'm going with, again, Anton Lundell. Last time I said Anton Lundell, he got an assist on a very nice play, and he's a very good, smart hockey player, and these playoffs has really shown you how good of a hockey player he is, and it's a guy that the Edmonton Oilers need to watch out for tonight.
For me, it's Matthew Tkachuk. He's been too quiet so far in this series that tonight's a night I could see that man stepping up, making some greaseball plays, but no Vinny to go out there and fight him. So,
Yeah.
Cody CC, you're in, buddy. Let's go. Mess up that handsome jawline. Let's get into Bordzy's Bankroll. Brought to you by Betway. 19+. Please play responsibly, because with Betway, you can get a free bet up to $200 if your first bet loses. All you got to do, Lance, is create a new account, scan the QR code on your screen right now, join the action, redeem your bonus, place a bet. No minimum amount is required. And if that first bet loses, you'll get a refund up to $200. You can then use that money to bet on your favorite sports. This offer is only available outside of Ontario. If I would have known Warren Fogle was on the top line, that would be on this right now. So run, don't walk to Betway. Currently plus 450 for a full goal.
Nice.
Sign me up for that one, people. All right, Pat, hit me. The choices this evening, nice and simple. Got to see it go through the hoop. Edmonton money line, dry 1+ point. He is the second best all-time points per game facing elimination with 1.6. I believe it's 3 goals, 13 assists in 10 games played. Plus 120. I like the juice. I have not taken this middle one off because it has to happen eventually, right? Over 10 on the power play so far, but a Bush bomb is coming, plus 140. It can even get tipped in front of the net. And then the last one should be Warren Fogle, plus 450 right now. Get that. But Leon, 29, anytime goal scorer, plus 140. I like that. Pat, starting with you. Which of these 3 bets do you like the most? Or is it Warren Fogle?
Well, it's Warren Fogle.
Yeah.
I mean, just for the juice, right? But I agree with you in the middle one, and I agree with it being on this slate this entire playoffs. The Oilers will figure out, and they will figure out the power play in this series at some point. And you know Bush is going to be a part of that. So I love that one at plus 140.
Bert?
I also, as we were doing the last segment, I also hit the Fogle one. But on this, I'm liking the money line in 29 point. I think if Edmonton's going to win, it's going to be with their stars tonight, and 29 is going to be one of those guys leaving. I mean, he is the greatest point producer in playoff history in at least in the last generation.
Second
and
best.
elimination.
Second best.
Exactly.
By
So,
0.01.
yeah, I'm gonna. Wow. Tight margins there. So yes, I'm going with Leon Draisaitl.
For me, I'm looking at these. Pat, what is the poll? I don't have it open right now.
The poll right now is at 56% for money line and dry 1.
Warren Fogle. All right, good call. Absolutely. And I'll have you know, I just emptied the account, boys. Just emptied the account. It's when your back's against the wall, what do? Said it all year. You come out swinging, baby. That's exactly what the Edmonton Oilers are going to do tonight. I love you all. I pray to God this is not the last time we pregame with BORDZY, but if it is, you guys have made this year absolutely incredible. It has been a blast. Shout out to you, Brett. You've produced, you've co-hosted. Pat, you've been here every step of the way. Gavin, Tyler, Liam, you name it, Zach Lang, everybody in this chat. You guys are the best. This has been the funnest year I've ever had of Edmonton Oilers hockey. AB made the cup final, but I got to pregame with you guys all season long. But we made it there because we're going to be pregaming again for Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final. I do believe BORDZY mentality, fucking rights. Russ Offerson, I love you. And tonight, we'll be joined Oilersnation After Dark by Matt Wozniak. Also might have Bag Milk dropping by as well. And dude, this city's crawling with celebrities and everything right now. And I have a very loud mouth. I will try to get absolutely anyone I can of note on this show. I love you all. Good luck on the Betway Battlegrounds tonight. And I'll see you right here after the game. Good luck, everybody.